Yes! Todd Lee is here. Yes, Giraffes on Demand here at Lunch Therapy. Hi, everyone. It's Rocktober. Welcome to Rocktober. We're going to usher in Rocktober in grand fashion today because we have the incredible rocker Adam Pearce on the show. Adam was on The Voice. He also tours around the country. He has a great album, Warbird, that we're going to talk about. Yeah, Halloween's on its way. I don't hold back on Halloween because Rocktober is the best month, I think. I don't know. Maybe people can argue that. Certainly awesome. Who's here? Howard's here. Musicians, coolest people on the planet. Yeah, today we're going to learn about what it takes to be a musician, what it is to walk the path, what the music industry is like today, all that stuff, what it's like to be on The Voice. He's coming to us all the way from New Orleans, Louisiana. I said it wrong. New Orleans. All right, let's get into the show. This is Lunch Therapy, Interview Friday, live. All right, so I wish I could see the super stickers. Apparently you can make these super stickers, you can tip, and the super sticker cannot appear on my screen as of yet, but I think it can appear in the chat. So everybody, welcome. Lunch Therapy, we're gonna take our 3 deep breaths. I'm doing a little replay of the Cats from earlier on this week because they were a big hit, and there was one in particular that's gonna be showing up here soon. Let's see if I can make myself smaller because you're gonna wanna see this guy because apparently we didn't get a good look at him. It was right before Liliac came on. There he is. All right, so in through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Oh, it's getting lewd. Let it go. Yeah, whatever I want on my birthday. Birthday, it's your day. Who is that? Who is that cat? I don't know. But they're cute. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. Very excited to have Adam Pearce here. He is somebody that I just discovered on the internet. A lot of times in the show, obviously every show at the end we have a dance break, we dance around. Hopefully Adam will join me in that. But he's one of our favorites in the dance break. It's like the cat has my head in its mouth. Let's get into this thing, Interview Friday. Here we go. Okay, this is the official intro to the interview, and this is the aforementioned giraffe that Todd Lee requested. Special. Jose, happy Friday. I see Jose is here. Happy Friday. Catmandu. Devil Spawn. All right, so we're getting through here, and I'm going to bring Adam on any second because he's tired of hanging out with Boney in the green room, I'm sure. I'm going to play a little clip of him playing some of our favorite band, the Beatles, come together. And then I'm going to bring him on in.
Welcome back, everybody. Definitely the hardest part of this song is remembering these crazy freaking lyrics. I don't know what they mean. I'm sure there's a lot of drugs involved when they were being written. So I'm gonna try my best. I might mix some verses up around, but you get the point.
All right. That is awesome, Adam. Welcome to
Thank
the
you.
show. Welcome to the show. So great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you for having
Yeah. Uh-oh. Didn't think the gingers had soul. Jeez, right off the bat. Right off the bat.
me. Lisa, get out of here.
All right. So I discovered you through your YouTube channel, which is great. Do you put out a song every week? Or how often do you put out songs?
I do. I put out a song every Thursday at noon. I launched the channel a little over a year ago. Got really serious about my YouTube channel, and it's been growing ever since.
Wow. So okay, so
Slow
for me,
incline, but it's growing.
is it slow? Like, is it? YouTube's a tricky thing because uh, you have no control over it, and you market it the best you can. But
Well,
yeah, tell me.
yeah, sorry, go ahead. There's a little bit of delay, and
Yeah,
my internet might be a little funky.
it's
Hurricane
cool.
Ida, it just ravaged this whole area, so
Oh God.
some stuff is still recovering, like the internet. But anyway, yeah, regarding YouTube, um, from everything that we've studied and learned about YouTube algorithms, is that if you're consistent enough and if you're patient enough and if you continue to put out good quality content, you'll eventually kind of hit like an inflection point where YouTube will start recommending, and hopefully it will grow exponentially. But I'm not disappointed in the growth that it's had.
Oh yeah, you got a
It's. I
really
mean, that's
popular
something.
channel for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, a year ago I had like 500 subscribers that were just. I mean, I didn't even really mess with it. That was just people, probably like my friends and stuff supporting me. So it's
Yeah.
up to 4,000 now, and I get
Wow.
roughly about 42,000 views a month, which is about a view per minute. So I'm not complaining.
Is that is that a view per minute? That is pretty cool. That stat. Is the music industry, is that where it's going? I mean, like self-producing your own stuff? Or how powerful are record labels these days? What's the music industry like?
I think it is, and obviously I'm not some superstar, so I can't answer that question. But
Mhm.
to be honest, I don't think anyone can answer that question anymore.
Yeah.
Um, People used to have formulas like, oh, you got to do this and this. You put out a music video, and you reach get your promotion and your major distribution, and there's steps. And I don't think any of that applies anymore. I think it's, I mean, to put it to simplify it, I don't know the way I'm going about it is the right way, but I mean, hell, I'm gonna try.
Yeah. I mean, that's awesome. The Melinda says, "Hey Adam, waiting for you to come back to Vachery, Vachery,
Bashery.
Vachery."
That's one of those Cajun words, kind of.
Uh,
One of those Cajun towns that whenever like the international news has to pronounce, they butcher all that. So,
yeah, yeah. So, you tour as well, right? Are you
I
touring now?
do, yeah. So, I'm leaving for Arizona next week. I have an agency called Quiver Music. They're based out of Minnesota,
Yeah.
and they're also good friends of mine. And they book me all over the nation. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
A lot of work, but a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay, so you're from Louisiana originally. Did you just stay there, or did you go to Nashville, or did you go to LA, or what did you do when you first started out? And why did you start doing music? Like you said, from what I understand, you started doing music when you were like 18, right?
Yeah, I started music relatively late. I'm from a small town in Louisiana. Don't laugh. Well, you can laugh. It's called Bunkie,
Yeah.
Louisiana.
I love
Bunkie,
it.
yeah.
I love it.
Bunkie. The the town imagining something called a town called Bunkie. It's that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It is
So,
that.
um, yeah, it's that. I grew up on a sugar cane farm.
Really?
Um, so yeah, very country. I'm sure you can hear the accent.
Oh yeah.
The
It's
red
great
the
though. It's
redneck accent.
great, man. Are you a
Uh,
redneck?
I'm I'm half. Do you know what a coonass is?
No, what is that?
A
Tell me.
coonass is like a slang term for Cajun.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So like the Cajuns around southern Louisiana,
Hmm.
we call them coonasses, or we call ourselves coonasses. So I'm half Cajun, half redneck. My mom's side was very, very French. My
Nice.
my grandparents spoke English was their second language. They're very French,
Really?
and
Oh, wow.
yeah, and my dad's side was redneck. So I'm a perfect blend.
Do you speak French?
No,
No.
we just learned the curse words growing up.
Yeah.
You know,
One of
we
one of our people in the chat room said, "When are you coming to Seattle?" We have a lot of
I don't have any
Seattle people.
plans to come to Seattle, but I would love to. The whole Seattle music scene is one of my biggest inspirations. Chris Cornell and the '90s revolution, everything that was the biggest thing for me. So hopefully soon.
Charles Goldsmith says, "Do you do your own songs too?" Yes, he does great songs. He has an album out now called Warbird, and we're going to get into talking about that hopefully. Todd Lee says,
Thank you for asking.
"Yeah, is Bunkie near Schitt's Creek?"
In Schitt's Creek in Canada,
I think.
so I think we're pretty far away.
Grew up on a sugarcane farm. Let me just see what some other folks are saying. If you haven't seen Adam live, you're missing out. Yeah, I'm going to make sure that I see Adam live because I'm a huge fan. And the great thing about Adam is he can rock it on an acoustic guitar. He can rock it on an electric guitar. He is a kind of a virtuoso. So you never sang really. In fact, you didn't even intend to sing, right?
Yeah. So getting back to that point, yeah,
Yeah.
I bought a guitar to impress a girl that I liked, and I was 18. So I went through all high school. But I did like high school football and everything. Like music, that was like the last thing on my mind. I didn't even really know that I had a knack. And I
Really?
picked up a guitar. I got a guitar instead of a high school class ring
You
because I knew
did.
that nobody really wore their
Yeah.
class ring
Right.
after
What do you do with the
school.
class ring anyway?
I got to impress a girl. I'm married to that girl right now.
Wow. Really?
So maybe I guess
That's beautiful.
yeah. But ironically, she's not even really into the whole musician
Well,
thing,
that's
which
the
is
thing.
good. She likes me for me, not because I can play
Yeah,
guitar.
that's the thing is we always think the guitar is going to get the girls, but they're maybe interested in the beginning, but after a while they're like, "You're going to play that thing all
It's
the
a little
time?"
superficial if that's why she likes me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Uh,
right.
have you gone
So
overseas to
today I
France to play yet? Is what another question in the chat room. Have you gone to France?
no, I have not. I have yet to go to Europe at all, actually.
World tour
But it
coming
is
soon, hopefully.
definitely yeah. So this
Yeah,
this lady that's jumping in on here, Lisa Fennell,
yeah.
she's one of the head honchos at Quivering Music. She's one of the main ones in charge, or she is the main one in charge of booking me all over
Oh, cool.
the nation. So yeah, she's chiming in. So
That's good.
when she hears us talking about Europe, she's getting excited because I know
Yeah,
it's on her to-do list too.
I
So
like that idea.
hopefully coming soon, France. We're working on it.
I really like that idea.
Anyway, I keep getting distracted, but I like it. Yeah, it's
That's
about
the thing
singing.
about the
Yeah,
chat
I
room.
didn't know that I could
Yeah,
sing.
and the
I'm
delay.
sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. So the thing about the chat
Yeah, and
room
the delay.
and the delay is that we get distracted, but we can always get back on track. I want to hear more about the singing and how it came to you.
I didn't know that I could sing for like the first few years. I don't remember exactly 1 or 2 years of me playing guitar. I wanted to be just like a virtuoso guitarist. I wanted to be like a Steve Vai or Joe Satriani, like really, really, really focused on guitar. I didn't know I could sing. It was like guitar is what I had. It's what I was going to do. In hindsight, I'm really glad that it worked out that way because it forced me to be a better guitarist and not just like a singer songwriter playing cowboy chords. Because I really wanted to be an accomplished guitarist. It wasn't until later, I'm like singing ideas for my buddies. Like I like auditioned some singers for my bands and everything, and people just slowly started telling me like, "Man, that sounds great. Like you can sing it yourself." And over the years, I just started singing myself. And like, after a while, I was like, "All right, I haven't found anybody that can do what I can't do, so I'm just gonna sing." So, I'm really I think once I figured out that I could be a singer, I really kind of like evolved into more of like a front man
Yeah,
position, like
yeah,
focusing on songwriting and singing and being a front man rather than being that like virtuoso, It's really hard to be one of those like crazy virtuoso guitarists starting at 18 too, by the way.
You
Like a
think
lot of
so?
those guys
Yeah,
started,
I know.
not
Really?
saying that
Yeah,
it's possible,
yeah.
but a lot of those guys started like super early. And even from like a physiological standpoint, like it really is. Like you lose a lot of those neurological pathways to your fingers that keep you from doing all that. Anyway, I'm getting
No, I like
getting
it.
off
I like
topic.
it.
But
I like it.
I eventually kind of came to a realization that I would rather be a Dave Grohl than a Steve Vai or a Joe Satriani. Um, so obviously, I still want to be a great guitarist, but I'm not trying to be like. I mean, I'm not practicing 6-7 hours a day like those guys do. Some of them more. So that really just kind of changed the whole dynamic of who I was as a musician, figuring out that I could sing, and I don't regret that.
Well, you have great range and you can really scream, which is, I mean, you really can, you can hit the high notes and you can really get that. I don't know anything about singing, but I know that as a rock and roll singer, you got to get a certain sound out of your voice that could hurt your vocal cords even. But you seem to be able, you have a
Right.
beautiful voice and so was it a surprise to you all of a sudden? And then did you work on it with any kind of like a vocal coach or anything like that? Because it sounds like you did.
I I have worked on it. It's been something that like has gotten better over the years, and I didn't even realize it was getting better. Excuse me, until I listened to like something that I sang. Uh, like my first, I actually put out 2 albums. My first album I put out back in 2012,
Hmm.
and I can listen to that. And at the time that I sang it, I was like, I'm never going to be a better singer than this. Like this is the pinnacle of what I can do.
Hmm.
And I just sound so young and amateur. I don't hate it. I'm very proud of the album, but
Yeah.
I just sound so young and less experienced. I didn't have any formal training um, until I went on The Voice, and they give you like coaches, which I know we're probably getting to that subject later.
Yeah. No, I'd love to
Um,
talk about that.
but yeah,
We
yeah,
might as well
they
grab
gave
it
me
now
coaches
while
in
we
the
can, the,
yeah,
they gave
yeah,
you
go for it.
coaches there. Did they discovered you from your YouTube channel? Is that right?
Oh no.
How did they get
So
you?
the YouTube channel is like I said only about maybe
Oh yeah.
15 or 16 months old.
Yeah.
But I did have an online presence.
Hmm.
I had YouTube videos floating around. I had an album out, and I had
Yeah.
like Reverb Nation was big at the time. So they discovered me, and they reached out to me and said, "Hey, look, we're going to be in New Orleans this date. Um, would you like to come audition for us? You get to skip the first round." So like I didn't have to go and sit in an auditorium with like 30,000 people and do that whole step, that whole that you see like American Idol and all
Yeah.
them. I didn't have
Yeah.
to do that, and I probably wouldn't have done that because to be honest, I wasn't trying to be on The Voice. Like that,
Yeah.
that wasn't really my scene. Like I was a rock and roll guy, but it kind of fell in my lap.
Hmm.
Um, even the level of audition that I got invited to, it was still like a big like people were still driving in from all over the country, and they just happened to be in New Orleans, like 8 minutes from my house. So I'm
Wow.
like, I would be stupid to
Yeah.
not go and do this.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much detail you want me to get into the whole
Well,
audition
whatever,
process, but
I'd like to hear about it because it's interesting.
a lot of people find it interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I went, and there's still hundreds of people at this stage, and I'm sitting in a room with just one door between us and where you can hear them audition,
Yeah.
and they tell you to prep like 3 songs, and everybody in front of me they maybe got 20 seconds into the song, and they would go, "All right, thank you for coming, bye,"
Oh man. Yeah.
and you
I would think they got to go through all those people. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. Now we got a little bit of frozen thing happening
just
and
hear
oh,
the
it's
people
back.
just like getting rejected.
Yeah.
Um, so I go in there and I sing "Whole Lot of Love" by Led Zeppelin because Led
You did.
Zeppelin's my always go to.
Oh yeah.
I can sing it. Everyone loves Led Zeppelin, and I remember I got through the whole song and they were still listening. I'm like, well, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, what else you got? And I'll be honest, I don't even remember the other things I did. I think I did a Chris Cornell song.
Yeah.
But long story short, they took me back. They interviewed me, a ton of questions. They're like, we'll let you know if you fly to LA. About a month later, called me. They're like, all right, congratulations, you made it to the next round. We're going to fly you out to LA. I go to LA. there's probably 200 people at that point, and they're going to cut that in half. So this is like the executive auditions. You have to go and audition for like all the big executive producers, like all the big wigs are there.
Wow.
Long story short, I went in there. They gave me a song. They gave me Hush by Deep Purple, I think.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Which I'm a huge Deep Purple fan, so I was all right with that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I sang it and I made it. Yeah, I passed out and they're like, all right, so congratulations, you made it to a blind audition. Even that, so there's only 48 people that make a team, right? 4 coaches, 12 people on each team. So there's still 100 people that make it to a blind audition.
Really?
So if the seats fill up, so you want to get like an early slot. If the seats fill up, you don't even, like a lot of people don't even get their chance. You know, you're still not guaranteed to get on TV. So like ideally, I want to say you want to be like kind of in the middle. You don't want to be super early because they're like, well, then the coaches are too picky that early.
Yeah.
But you don't want to be late because the teams might fill up. So you kind of want to be in the middle.
Do you get any choice, or is it just random?
People don't know this. So that was season 12.
That was season 12. Okay.
Random about what?
Oh, about the order of the people. Do they decide this by you? Don't.
Oh no.
Does anybody know?
It's definitely not random. They have a They have a
plan. Of course.
There was even I'll even say this. There's a lot of big personalities in that hotel, right? It's a bunch of diva musicians.
Uh-huh.
The people that were assholes, and there was a lot of them, they just mysteriously would get shoved to the back of the list. Right.
Yeah, so a lot of it is about your personality and your story, right? I mean, isn't that part of the thing that they're
Absolutely. And I knew that. I knew when they put that after the first audition and they put that camera on me, I'm like, all right, now they're judging my personality and they're going to want to see if people want to watch this. So I tried to be like, personable.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I was on season 12 and season 13. Mm-hmm. Season 12, I didn't get a chair turn.
What is that?
A lot of people don't know that about me. You can't really find it anywhere in the country.
Yeah.
The worst. Just the worst.
That's horrible.
I have a show that I didn't even really want to be on.
Yeah.
In the first place.
Yeah.
And I'm living in LA after all this work. It's just like, God, they gave me a song that I did not want to sing.
Oh, they give it to you. They give it to you for that too, for the chair turn. And what was that? What song was that?
Yeah. Yes. They gave me A Whiter Shade of Pale by Procol Harum.
Yeah.
It's a very, very like droning, kind of depressing, kind of sad song. And I wasn't really feeling it. And they don't give everybody their song. They let you pick from a list, but they have like licensing issues and stuff. So you don't just get to sing whatever song you pick. So, I get it. So long story short, I didn't get a chair turn. It was the worst. Adam Levine, that was Adam Levine and Gwen Stefani and Blake and Alicia Keys. And Adam Levine gave me a whole bunch of, he was like, dude, you're so awesome. He was like, you're a little pitchy for me. He says, I really want you to work on some stuff and come back and try again next season. Which at the time, I was so I was fuming. I was like, all right, man, yeah thanks. I just wanted to get off the stage.
I bet.
I was fuming. Yeah. Carson Daly wanted to talk to me, and I knew cameras on me, but I wanted to be like, I don't want to talk to any of y'all right now. So yeah. Long story short, I came back the next season. I did go to some local vocal coaches and everything. And 3 people got invited back from season 12 to season 13. I was one of them, and I was the only one of those 3 that made a team. So I was like for season 13, and that was kind of my story. So they really played off of that.
That's cool.
And that was that whole process. So that was that went on for like a year,
And they coach you while you're in the contest too, right? They like other people besides the celebrity coaches coach you as well. Is that right?
Oh, absolutely. They give us a vocal coach. She was awesome. She was the best. And then the music, the head of the band and everything will coach you. There's a lot of coaching involved. You don't just get up there and sing. You're there and you train and you practice on one song for 3-4 weeks,
Wow. Well, that's good to know because it looks terrifying. Was it terrifying to go out there and compete like that? Yeah.
Yes.
Even if you're somebody
Yes.
who's been playing clubs all over the place?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I am not a nervous guy. I'm not an anxious guy on stage, but walking out on that stage, especially the second season, because it was like all or nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like it was or double or nothing or whatever.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, God, it's so terrifying. And it's dead quiet. It's completely quiet. Like
Really?
on TV, you hear like Carson Daly's talking and there's music and
Yeah.
everybody's like happy. And fun is not like that. You're just looking at the back of four people's heads and like 600 people in the crowd. It's insane, man. It's insane. And I'm not going to like act like I was like cool and suave and I didn't care. No, dude, I was nervous as all hell.
Oh, that's great. Okay, I'm gonna play another one of your cover songs real quick, and then come back and we're gonna talk some more. All right, Adam Pearce.
All right, everybody. I promise you there'd be a lot of Led Zeppelin, so man of my word. Leaves are falling all around. Time I was on my way. Thanks to you, I'm much obliged. Such a pleasant stay. For now it's time for me to go. The autumn moon lights my way. For now I smell the rain, and with it pain, and it's headed my way. Oh, sometimes I grow so tired, but I know I got one thing I gotta do, ramble on. Now the time is now, sing my song. I'm going around the world, I'm gonna find my girl on my way. I've been this way 10 years to the day I'm gonna ramble on. I'm gonna find the queen of all my dreams. Got no time for spreading roots.
That's awesome. That is so great. I love that song. I love the way you do it. Do you, when you cover songs, do you take on a little bit of the person's tone? Do you change your tone at all when you do that? Or do you try and sing it your way? Yeah. Yeah.
I definitely take on their tone and probably a little bit consciously and subconsciously. But I think that there's still just enough of me in there to where it's still going to kind of sound like me doing it. But I definitely change my tone a little bit between singers. So, and Zeppelin is one I've been singing for a long time. So
yeah, and it's not easy. Zeppelin is not easy at all. So I commend you also to play it with an acoustic guitar. And I mean, because it's really beautiful. I want to get on to talking about Warbird. First, I'm going to show you. We here at Lunch Therapy, we call ourselves the cult of the hummingbird. And I want to show you that the hummingbird is a warbird. And this is something I found here. It's fighting a bumblebee. I don't know whether you know, or maybe it's yeah, look at that. I don't know if you know, but the hummingbird is not the docile animal that people think it is. Actually, they fight each other. And they also seem to be able to fight hornets. So I don't know, was that one of your influences when you made Warbird? Was the hummingbird an influence at all? There you go.
I didn't know that about hummingbirds.
Now you know. Now you know. And then also I just want to point out there is a movement
maybe you've seen the Billboard
called Birds Are Not Real. Have you heard of this?
Or heard the story on Wednesdays Live
Oh,
at 9.
God.
A campaign
Yeah,
called Birds
I know about
Are
it.
Not
This
Real
is hilarious.
efforts to the Mid-South.
I just
hilarious.
I just want to know who this guy is. What the hell is going on here? Let's just watch him for a second because it cracks me up.
The founder.
No, ma'am.
Power of the internet.
So how did you become aware of it? What is the message of the movement?
The message of the movement is essentially to spread awareness that from 1959 through 2001, the government mercilessly genocided over 12 billion birds and simultaneously replaced them with surveillance drones in disguise that film us every day as equally as these cameras are filming us right now.
So what do you have to back that up?
To back that up, I
just
have
love that
as
response.
much evidence as the birds have provided. There's so much.
So this is really satire. I mean, you don't really believe that that happened, correct? This is a satirical campaign to make the point that what? You're looking at me like, no, it's not satire. I really do believe this.
Honestly, it's kind of offensive.
Okay. So it's not satire.
I don't think you would say that if I said birds are real. You know? I don't know why the other side of the argument can't be treated with equal respect.
Except that before we came out on air, you said this is a satirical message. So what is
I never said that.
Anyway, I don't know. I thought I'd point that out to you before we talk about Warbird. What is your influence for why did you write the song Warbird, and what does it mean to you?
So that song, ironically enough, there's a song on the album called Warbird, and it was the problem child of the album.
Really?
It was every album has one.
Yeah.
It's one that I fought with the most and reworked it and everything. So I guess I don't know if double entendre is the right word. It's got kind of a dual meaning, which I think I do a lot in my songs. But so my buddy, back in the old days, I used to be in a band called Black Magnolia. And I used to play with my buddy, and they had another band, and we would play all the time. And we used to this was back in like college days, and we were just always on the grind and always playing shows. They used to do a medley of War Pigs and Freebird.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
they called it Warbird.
Warbird.
They called it Warbird. He and I always joke that, man, we need to get together and start our own band and call it Warbird. That's like the coolest band name ever.
It's great.
So we're calling it Warbird. We always joked, 50-50 joking kind of seriously. Well, they don't really play anymore. They all went off and did the family thing. And I think that song was kind of an homage to that era of our life when we were just like playing in bands and partying and just rock and roll just all the time. And at the same time, it's kind of an homage to anybody who's like struggling and in the trenches with their job or profession or their life and whatnot. And that's kind of how I wrote the lyrics to reflect, not necessarily so much me personally. That was my personal inspiration for it, but that's kind of what the song is about. So like being a warbird, it's a little more on the lighthearted side. It's a little cheesy, but that's
song,
the overall meaning of that.
You know that song? I mean, I think it's great. One of the things, I don't know whether musicians realize this, but it really affects people in their life. Songs can really change somebody's life, literally. Like, I think of that song, that song Rooster?
Yeah.
Alice in Chains. There was a time in my life where I just felt like I was powerless. And that song like really kind of pulled me up out of that kind of darkness, And even though it was a song about, a Vietnam veteran and, for me, it just really, I don't know, would give me inspiration. And I also have this friend who is the world champion planker. And he holds that yoga pose for really long periods of time, like 10 hours. And he says that one of the ways that he gets through it is listening to music that inspires him. And so one of the things that you do, which I find particularly in your music, is you're taking personal things and you're putting them out there, and then other people can identify with it. What is your process for writing songs? Oh, great. I asked that question and then I lose you. I'm going to play a little bit of this song in particular that I'm talking about here. And we're going to look at the lyrics and come back.
Lord, won't you tell me that I'm out of my mind, out of my prime? Tell me that there's nothing that
Okay, I'm working on getting him back here any second. And here he is. He's back. Yay!
So the
yeah,
last thing I heard you say was, I know that song.
yeah, go ahead.
You said I know that song was about Vietnam, but for me, and then I lost.
Okay. So yeah, what I'm saying is sometimes we're inspired by songs of struggle or songs that inspire us because we see other people and relate to what they're saying. I mean, maybe this is obvious, but I feel like this song "Out of My Prime" is like something that you were going through that you wrote down you wrote as a song, and it's something that connected with me as well. How did you write the song? What inspired you in that song, "Out of My Prime"?
Well, it's that's the song about being an aging musician and wanting to still rock out,
Yeah,
and telling everyone, no, I can still do it. Like, and obviously that doesn't just apply to music. I
right.
think everybody, especially like people hit like benchmarks like 30s or their 40s, they're like, oh man, it's over. And it's so not. Like, that's just a mentality that people need to get over.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the gist of that song and that meaning.
I really dig it because that's something I try and inspire on this show is that people, God, some people are like 22 years old and they think they're out of it or they're done or it's over or they're out of their prime or whatever. It's ridiculous. It gets younger and younger and younger. And as you get older, you realize how long life is. And,
Right.
Everybody says
And
life
how
is
much
short, but
life-
there's so much that you can do in your entire lifespan that if you cop out somewhere along the line because somebody said you were too old or something like that, it's a shame. It's a god awful
Well,
shame.
and it's how much can change in like 6 months or a year
Yeah.
of your life.
Yeah.
It's like, man, you think there could be just some major change in your life that could happen at any age. And it's equally ridiculous for someone at 42 or 52 to think it's over.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what that song, hell, that song was 3 years ago. So now I'm really out of my prime.
Right. No kidding. All right. Thank you, Lisa, for the super sticker. That's awesome. Pam Palmieri, rock on. Yeah, it's great to have all of you here in the chat room. I want to get down to this because I've done some songwriting. I've taken some songwriting classes. What's your process for songwriting? Do you write the music first? Do you write the lyrics first? What usually happens?
That's an interesting question. A lot of people ask me that.
Mhm.
Usually I kind of write, it has to be like a moment and it kind of comes to me all at once. Not to sound like this like artistic diva. Um, but a lot of times like it's usually me with my guitar and I play some like really cool like lick or whatever and it just like inspires all kinds of thoughts. Like just like a certain chord progression or certain, it just like reminds me and I'll just like come up with like these kind of cool like lyrics or words or whatever and like usually build a theme from that. Um, this song in particular, my guitarist wrote all the music, which I don't usually do. But there's 2 songs in this album where he wrote all the music, and I just wrote the lyrics and the melody. Excuse me. So this one, yeah, I want to say I sat down with like a phone and my headphones in and just started listening to me. And I just kind of like that melody, like da 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 out of my prime, and I just kind of came up with that. I don't know why Out of My Prime came to me, and it just kind of built the whole theme around that. And then I just worked on the lyrics, over. So to answer your question in a long way, nothing really comes first. I don't know how to answer that. In this case, the music came first because a different guy wrote it, but usually it kind of happens all at once.
Do you find that you have to get your analytical mind out of the way sometimes to do the creative process?
Oh God, yeah, that's the what are the, I don't know the science. What are like the gamma waves and the beta waves
There's
and
different brain waves,
I don't
alpha
remember all
waves.
that, but
Yeah.
I have figured out very recently in my life, and I wish I would have figured it out sooner. And I think a lot of creative people, successful creative people, will tell you this. It's first thing in the morning is the best time to be creative and the best time to write because that whole like super analytical part of your brain hasn't fully taken over yet and started telling you that's a dumb idea. This is stupid. This doesn't sound good. So I try to get up early. If I'm in a writing, mood.
Yeah.
Try to get up sort of early and just like a little bit of a caffeine buzz. And that's like the best freaking time to write. And I have like an hour to 2 hours of like really deep thought and concentration. I used to like try to be, I used to go in my studio late at night and it's like, I'm going to start working. I'm going to work until I don't really feel creative anymore. And then I'm going to drink some beer, and see if that kind of, loosens me up, and then see if that works as well. But I've recently figured out, man, early morning.
Tennessee Williams,
don't check your phone.
The great playwright Tennessee Williams said that too, that he would get up really early in the morning, get a cup of black coffee, and that's when he would do his best writing. And I think that there might be something there.
True. Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of science to back it up. I want to say Einstein used to do something like that. I could be completely wrong, but I want to say he used to have like practices to keep his mind in the gamma waves. I don't know if gamma waves is the right, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Gamma waves are actually supposedly a very high state that you only get every once in a while when just for a moment. But apparently Tibetan monks, when they've tested their brains, a lot of times they're in that gamma state, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah. So I'm thinking of another word.
Alpha state, I think. I think it's like
wave, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think it's like an alpha wave. Okay, I'm going to play the lyrics of another song here, one of yours. Here we go.
You can shine your darkest hour on me. Bring down your highest tower on me. And knowing that I'm never gonna leave you, it's gotta mean something to you. I don't know what it's gonna take to reach you, but maybe I'll see it through. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can pull the light right out of me. Find out how strong we can be.
All right, I'm back. That is an awesome song. I feel like it should be a huge hit if it's not already. That album's already dropped, right?
Not.
Where can people get this? Because people are asking.
It's on iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon, any major digital distributor. If you want a physical album, you can go to adampearcemusic.com and order one. But those are kind of going the way of the dodo. So
yeah, I think that. So that song. How did you go about writing that one? Do you remember the process?
So actually, that's actually another. I lied when I said I had two songs that I co-wrote. That's the third one that I co-wrote with a very, very well-known New Orleans songwriter, Jim McCormick. You should look him up. He's got huge hits. He's written with like some of the biggest like country stars ever. So the whole he came over with a laptop.
Yeah.
And I'd had like the main idea written. I had like the chorus lyrics. I had all that written. And he just came over with the laptop. And I'd never done anything like that before. And the guy was like he's brilliant. Like the way that we work together, like it was a really cool experience. And when he showed up with just a laptop, I'm like, I don't know how this is going to work. But he really had a good way of like kind of helping me write the song, if that makes any sense, you know.
Mm-hmm. Collaboration. So a good collaborator, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah. Sometimes
Yeah,
collaboration can be
absolutely.
difficult, right?
So
I mean, yeah. Do you usually collaborate?
it
with
can
people?
it can be.
Yeah.
No, I usually don't. So that's what was interesting, and this was you get to write with this guy, so I was like, I gotta like try it and see where it goes. So I had lunch with him. He says, look, he says, why don't you get together a few ideas and I'll come over and we'll pick one of your ideas and we'll elaborate on it. And I had like 3 or 4 of like catchy ideas, like not songs, but just catchy ideas. And I showed him the first one and he was like, let's see what else you got. And I showed him that one and like that immediate like pre-chorus and chorus. So I had that written already. And he was like, this one's really catchy. You got something cool there. And we just maybe like 2 hours just sat down and he contributed some lyrics and contributed like some structure and everything. And it was a really cool process.
Oh, that's cool. And do you have a band that you usually travel with? I mean, is that your band? You even have like a cover band as well, right?
No, right now,
Oh man. Oh, I lost you. Hold on. Let's go on. All right. Moving on to this, and I'm going to show something here, and perhaps you will
by myself.
I was just vamping there. That was awesome, though. Is that a cover band, or is that your band?
It's a Led Zeppelin tribute band that we just kind of do maybe 5 to 10 times a year at the most.
Yeah.
Everybody's working musicians, and we come together every once in a while and play. It's strictly a Led Zeppelin tribute. It's for fun. It's a lot of fun.
That is cool. All right, so I guess I'm going to have to wrap this interview up because we're heading on an hour here. But I just really appreciate you coming here and talking with us. And I'm sorry that that the hurricane is messing you up there. How was that going through that hurricane? Were you there when it happened?
I was not there. I was in Minnesota enjoying the peaceful weather. And thankfully my house is all right, but there's still a lot of damage around here they're cleaning up, but everything's good here.
Cool. At the end of the show, we have a thing called a dance break, and often we've played your music. Today I want to introduce you to another band called Lilac. Have you ever heard of them? Maybe you'll dance out with me.
I think I have.
Yeah, so they're like a young band. They're like a family. It's all brothers and sisters. And what happens is I play them, we're on the screen, we dance around, and then it's the end of the show. Are you up for that?
I'm down for it.
All right, let's do it.
Maybe I need to go crush a few beers for a start.
Maybe.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. You're welcome here anytime, of course. And we'll see you soon. Here we go, dance break time. It's Joan Jett.
Thumbs.
What'd you say? Yeah, thumbs. Do that.
Can I do the thumbs?
You said you made me, now it's 1:45. I know I'm hanging, but I still want you. Hey Jack, it's a fact you're talking in town. I'll turn my back.
Hard to dance when you're sitting down.
I'm not really jealous, no, not looking like a clown. I think of you every night and day. You took my heart and you took my pride away. I hate myself for loving you. Can't break free.
Drinking coffee is not dancing.
I wanna walk
He's, you know, he does this for a
I'm
living.
watching the dance. Great.
Aren't they
Sorry
good?
about that. Dance monkey.
Yeah, dance monkey.
I got my creepy ponytail in. I'm doing headbang.
Yeah, you know, you got your hair back, man. I'll do the dance.
But I've been dreaming about the love you do. I won't be angry about the hell you put me through. Hey man, bet you can't treat me
Sing.
right. You just don't know what you was missing last night.
I do.
I wanna see you back and stop again just despite. I think of you every night and day. You took my heart and you took my pride away. I hate myself for loving you. Can't break free from the things that you do. I wanna walk but I run back to you. That's why I hate myself for
Really into
loving
it.
you.
Last time I had this band on, I hurt my neck.
It obviously stands off the school.
I think of you every night and day. You took my heart and you took my pride.
All right, everybody, this has been Lunch Therapy with Adam Pearce. So great having you here. And we'll see you. Rock on, man.
Free from the things